Let's go. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
Motion to approve these minutes? Oh,
A motion to approve the minutes?
waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as written, I think.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Budget items. We have a discussion, where are they? Here they are. Of articles to close out. In other words, we have money in articles they want us to do something with. One of them is the fence. We haven't finished the fence, so that's still upcoming. The other one is the land acquisition. I think we need to use that for the paving that we did down there. I'll discuss that with Nicole, but that's all we have. I don't know if anybody has any ideas about.
No, we should use it for stuff like that.
Yeah, we only have 2 articles that are outstanding, so.
This is not on the subject, but anything on acquiring that part of East Beach Road, trading that guy the property and,
It literally takes an act of Congress. You have to go to the state legislature. This is a discussion on, there's one gentleman who has a trailer that's kind of remote. And he actually had a pretty nice trailer this year.
Yeah, it's-
yeah,
It's there, it's there.
Yeah, and it's all lit up at night, looks nice, but he's more than willing to swap land. But in order to do that, we have to either get the governor, get the legislator to pass the special legislation in both houses, Senate, which I can confident it probably would pass, and the governor to sign it as an act of legislation, or we have to, if we're gonna put land for acquisition, we have to send it out to bid. So there's no guarantee that he can't have the bid. Somebody could outbid him and we just lose a piece of land and never even get a swap.
wow.
And that's always been the sticking point. We have a chance of making more of a mess
Because
than
this
it's
has
done.
been
I think it would be
bothering
very
me for a
easy to
while.
say, hey, we'll give you 50, you take your 50 feet, and we'll move your 50 feet over. And he was more than willing and happy to do it.
But we can't do it.
Everybody was happy, but it's not something you can
Well,
do.
who's our, who took over from
Paul,
Paul?
Steve Willett.
Oh, well, can I mean, he's like, he's a man.
Yeah, that's the only way we could do it, because it's worth more than $30,000. So if it's almost than $30,000, you have to go through procurement.
We gotta
Laws
harass,
and-
harass, yeah. Tell him to
It would be really nice.
Tell them to do it.
do it, yeah, do it.
I mean, the other option is eminent domain, and I don't want to do that because I don't think it's right to take somebody's land for somebody.
And we
So-
can't give them,
It'd be nice, because he had it all picked out, we had it all set, we had the plans all drawn, we had everything going, and then it
that's
kind
why
of
it's
hit up.
been driving me nuts that we haven't been able to
And
accomplish.
he would prefer it, because he doesn't like his trailer being like away from the other trailers, because for security reasons. Kind
Yeah.
of sits out alone, and at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night, you don't know what the heck's gonna happen.
Where's the trailer again?
It's like halfway between the last trailer and Horseneck Road.
Well, when you
When you
the
make
road
the-
jog
Yeah.
Okay, I know you are.
toward to the other side of the phone poles,
So the plan was to give
and
him,
about halfway
yeah,
along that stretch, there's a trailer on the shore side. That's it. It's the only one in there.
yeah. So the plan was to give him something over with the
Yeah, I
other trailers.
understand.
Yeah,
I
you know,
I got
and he
that.
almost preferred that, and then keep, instead of having the second jig jog in the road, just make it go straight to Horseneck, and then have everything from basically the back of that parking area to the beach as the beach area.
'Cause
And
we,
it doesn't work with the separated
yeah,
parking.
we figured it out, I mean, we plotted it out
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the map, and there's, if you move the road, then you could put a fence with gates and have double loaded
So you
parking
have security, so people aren't parking there all night.
inside a fence.
Right.
Yeah.
And then part of the plan would be to fix up, landscape the other side of the road, which is still town property,
Right.
where where that trailer home is now.
Right.
Because that's all, you know, that could be quite nice.
Yeah.
if it were
Right.
Fixed up.
It'd be a contiguous parking area beach. In other words, you're not splitting up the way it is now, and you're taking out that second jig jog. So there's only gonna be
I was
one.
in a trailer down there for the last 2 days. I love East Beach, I've been going there for a
Oh, I
while.
think it's adorable.
The last 2 days were really
50.
nice, so.
You know, but in this town, a lot of people feel it's a Westport trailer park trash. And, you know, some of these people down there have a lot of money, but these lots that they have been in the family for
Oh, I
generations,
know, yeah, well, there are.
you know?
And I've noticed how a lot of them now look like little houses.
Right, yeah.
They've changed. They're-
Well,
they're
well,
changing.
Well,
gone
that's-
are the days of the
Trailers.
tin trailers, yeah.
Tiny houses with wheels.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an item coming up on, about East Beach to bring
Oh,
up, so, yeah.
got-
Okay, so budget items. I'm gonna ask Dana to chime in a little bit here. Have we ordered all the stuff?
Yes, so Nicole helped out and she ordered
I
everything.
saw the emails, yeah.
Stuff is starting to come in that she ordered through Amazon. She said she was having to look at another vendor though, to check with them on some of the items. I don't know where she's at with that, but she's working on it.
Okay, I saw the emails and I saw the things going back and forth, but I just didn't, there were so many going back and forth, I didn't know where we ended up.
We're good.
Will
she
we have
indicated-
them, will we have them by opening, I guess is the question we all have here.
Well, Nicole hasn't indicated there's a problem yet, so I can follow up with her next week to see if she ever contacted that other vendor and was able to order those.
Okay. All right, I had to talk to her about the items that we need to pay, and we'll see how much money's left for this year, for this fiscal year. Okay, we went to the budget items, town clerk report. We don't have a town clerk report, and I forgot to ask Carla or Chris how many beach passes we sold, so I'm not sure what that number is. I know we were up to 1,600 last time, and I'm sure now that the weather has gotten much better, that it's probably jumped exponentially. It's nice if they get them all sold early, 'cause then we know how much money we're gonna have next year.
Right.
So, I don't know how many they've sold, but I'm sure with the weather getting nicer, it'll probably increase for another month or so. Opening day issues. The beach parking lot is not 100% completed. Chris has had problems getting there, he's been doing other things, and the weather hasn't been very cooperative with him. So we still have to get signs. I'll include this as part of the opening thing. I talked to Chris yesterday, day before yesterday. He assured me Austin and everybody, the signs are there, the blanks are made, you just got to get things together down there.
He said he was gonna check in with you about like the poles and chain and unguarded water.
Well, I told him we need another post on the other side of the no dog sign, so we
Yeah.
could, if we need to put a chain across there, we can. But the chain in his sign is gonna be the responsible of the lifeguards, that's not his thing, I just need a post there. So he's aware of that, and I don't know if he's gonna reuse the posts that are there, or a lot of them he ripped out when he did the parking lot, I don't know.
But he has a chain, he's making the sign unguarded water?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's making the sign and everything like that, but
Yes.
he's just gonna give it to, or put it with the lifeguard, or put it in the trailer, which reminds me, I got a call about the trailer, I keep forgetting to call Voltran about the trailer. Now that he's a Westport resident, I hope he gives us a break. So, any other items? The 2 lifeguard chairs are still down on the beach. The new lifeguard chair?
Yes, that is ready. It's ready to be picked up at Diamond. I emailed the highway department, our maintenance man, yourself and Jim Hartnett.
Yeah.
To see who can help from the town, go get it and bring it to the beach. I'm assuming the highway department, but I haven't heard from them yet.
Yeah, I'll have to, he's been pretty busy lately, he's been doing a lot of things, so he's been falling behind, because weather hasn't been very cooperative for him either.
Right.
So hopefully, I don't know how big where it'll fit in a regular pickup truck, or if it,
I don't know. I can ask, but I assumed it's gonna be rather
Big.
large.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how the best way to get it there. Maybe we should
That's why I
find
think
out,
The highway department might
'cause-
have the.
because as you're aware, we couldn't find a truck.
Correct.
I asked Jim, I mean, you asked Jim, and 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 then one may become available, but I don't think we can count on it. I just don't know, at this point, what could be done, but maybe it's thinking about something we think about earlier next year. I don't know if there's, is
Where is it, at Diamond?
that Diamond? Yeah.
So the new lifeguard stand is at Diamond, and they said they can't deliver it, we would have to pick it up.
Which is fine if we know how to pick it, if there's a good way to
How
pick it
heavy,
up.
do you know what it weighs?
I don't, I can ask all those questions. if
Because I
you'd
can,
like.
I can carry, 3/4 of a ton. I've got
Yeah.
a full length,
I think the problem is this one's pretty wide,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be,
and if the seat, I
widest point.
think the seat 6 feet wide, so the base has got to be wider.
oh, okay, well then.
So
Oh, so in a couple of weeks, I'll have a boat trailer.
I mean, what you need is either a really big truck or something with a flatbed or something to get it on there. Because it'd be nice, because he's got to put the memorial in, he's still got to put the memorial in at the end. I was out on the beach this morning, and the roadway looks good. The fence, like, they haven't come back yet to finish the fence, so I don't think that's going to happen this year, so. But we are fortunate, or not fortunate for the birds, but fortunate for us, that there are no bird roped-off facilities in the first 1,000 feet going down towards the boaters. So we may be able to do a lot more with what we have, basically, because there are no, at this time, birds that they've fenced off. And I wouldn't expect, if it doesn't, in the next couple of weeks, they won't probably be there. I know it's fenced off way down, it's fenced off going the other way, but from the opening for 1,000 feet, there's no piping plover fencing, which will be good. It makes everybody's life a lot easier. Any other opening day stuff? Just,
We have a list that we'll just go over with you.
well, we have a lifeguard report that's coming next, so
Okay, we'll do
if
everything.
if it's opening day related signs and stuff like that, that's fine, but
The trailer, we were just wondering when that would be going down.
it's usually you can get there within a week of Voltran. I haven't called because I was waiting for them to pave, because I don't know if you've been down there, but they've paved the area where the trailer's going now, so we were waiting for that to happen, so that's done, obviously, and so we can drop the.
Can you let us know when the trailer goes down there, so that way I can get the equipment into the trailer?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll call him, if I can, I keep forgetting to call him, I can call him tomorrow. And they'll get it down there pretty quick.
Okay,
I would think that if I call tomorrow, it'll be there sometime next week.
okay.
I didn't want to get there too early, but I also don't want to wait till the last minute, because, okay, I'll let you know when I know they're going to deliver it.
Please do, yes. I'm just gonna ask some other things too. So my question is, so since we can't bank on the truck, what, at least for lifeguard cover, for like to take breaks, what's the plan?
Well, that's a good question. So there's a couple of ideas that have been bounced around. One is having the highway department putting a couple of posts down there and getting a sail that you can take down every day and put up every day, just clip on and have cover.
Because I would really like something where we can like get out of the element, if that
Right,
makes sense.
well, that's what I mean. So I'm thinking that if you did something, and they make both triangular sails and square sails, I think if we just put some wooden posts buried in the sand, and then you can just have clips, you can clip it on, so you have a roof or a shelter.
So we would have a roof, but like, it would be all open, right?
Yeah,
Alright, well, because I'm just like, say if it's like downpouring or something like that, I mean, and it's going sideways.
well, we could get,
You know what I'm saying?
they make the pop-ups with the sides.
Yeah,
The only problem with the pop-ups is in the wind, they're not really good. Even if you bury them in the sand, they're like giant sails. They're not very sturdy.
you almost need something solid, that's why the truck was like, the
Yeah.
way to go.
I'm not sure what the best solution is, to tell you the truth. I mean,
Because all I asked for was just something.
because the
solid.
post we can remove at the end of the year, because we'd have to, but
Just something
we could
solid.
put a canvas over it. Maybe we could just get a side canvas too, or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, something solid where we can get out of the element, that's pretty much it. If we can't bake on the truck. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't, we've been hunting, and we thought the school might have one available, but they didn't play nice in the sandbox. So I think we could get a pop-up with sides. I know you can get that. We could get that. I'd prefer not to do that, because like I said, those things are just giant sails. They're just,
Well, you just have to
you get a wind and it'll be horseneck.
Yeah.
You turn your back and you'll be chasing it down the beach.
eight cinder blocks.
Yeah, it's not really practical.
You know, something you bury in the sand, if you got some 12-foot posts and buried in the sand 4 feet, that thing would stand with it. And maybe we just do that with roof and, I wonder if you can buy the sides separate, so I wonder if you could just buy the sides, so. Shelter. I mean, it'd be nice, and Jim has suggested on many occasions, to have a facility in the parking lot that the lifeguards can change in and do things, and even just a freshwater shower to, but we don't know how to get water
Yeah.
and electricity and make that all work at the same time, so that's a different problem for a different day, something to think about for the future, though. If anybody has any ideas, I don't, more than happy to.
So will you talk to Chris about the poles idea and the sail?
Yeah.
And then who gets the sail?
I'm gonna look, because I know you can buy them on Amazon. People get them all the time for the yards and stuff like that. So the question is, how big do we need it and what do we do about the sides? And is there a package deal where maybe there's something better than a pop-up? I just don't, the idea of the pop-up, between the sand, the salt, and the sand getting in there and then the wind blowing it down Baker's Beach is,
So do you want to follow up with Chris from the highway department about
Yeah.
that then? And then just tell Nicole what she needs to order and she could order it and I'd be happy to then give it to Michael.
yeah, I'm just thinking, well, I wanna make sure Mike has what he, something he likes. So if you see something, Mike, that you think is a good idea, by all means, step up. I mean, I'm not an expert on temporary shelters by any, I mean, because even a pop-up tent would, yeah. Well, at least you can rope those down.
Yeah, no, I'll
But you need-
research them. I'll look into it. I mean, yeah, I'll definitely look into it. That's really all I can say, because I'm
Yeah,
not an expert either, so.
It's a tough situation because you really can't do much. You can't put a building there. You can't put a shelter there. It'd be nice. Or maybe
Before they go looking around, what's like the price range they would have to have?
come up with a price range. We can probably make it work, especially if it's after July 1st. We can make it work. We're a little tight going into July 1st, but we have some monies after.
Because there's like one at BJ's.
Yeah, but those are those pop-ups and the thing, the sand
It's
gets
very
in there.
heavy and it's brown. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, no, the pergolas, yeah, you don't want anything permanent. You gotta have something that, post that can be removed, and, I mean, if you bury a 12-foot post 5 feet in the sand, it's not going anywhere.
I guess that's why I thought maybe if you start with Chris and see what he could do that's like more permanent in terms of posts, then we can maybe figure out like what we attach to it. I don't know.
It's gonna be an issue, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll have to look into it, I guess, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure, we're not the only person in the world that's had this problem. I'm sure there's,
Sperry in Marion he's the tent guy.
Yeah.
I've got a tent-
Matt is the,
I got AB Newport tents is 50 feet from my office
you know,
in
I mean, they
Middletown.
might, if they have some old one they'll sell you, might be a way to do it.
Because like I said, just something to get out of the elevator, take a break.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah.
At least with, like, if we had a truck or whatever, it was enclosed, put the windows up, and it was 20 degrees cooler, than being outside.
Well, it's not only that, when you get that thunderstorm and it comes
Exactly.
down 5 inches in
I
20
mean, you're
seconds.
insulated too when you're in a car, when there's a thunderstorm or whatever, You're insulated from the wet sand.
We'll have to look into something. I'm trying to think, there must be something, because it's, like I said, we're not the only person in the world that's had this problem. Someone somewhere has come up with something.
I know I have one of those very cheap ones.
Yeah, that's-
I have it screwed to the deck, and that thing just keeps.
Yeah.
we have a
Oh, no, I watch
storm.
'em- I watch 'em
think
all the
It's gonna
time.
fly away.
There was one blowing down East Beach the other day. I don't know whose it was, but it was rolling down East Beach, so I don't know who had it. Okay, let's go to lifeguard report, or lifeguard issues, or lifeguard.
So,
Well, do you mind if I start? Okay.
absolutely, go right ahead.
So I just want to update everybody. So all the lifeguards have been given appointment letters, so that's done. Then all the payroll sheets have been filled out with the amounts given to me by Denise. The amounts given to me were part of the fiscal year, the new fiscal year. and she said to mark that on the sheets. So I did. So it's the newer amounts.
Right.
Okay.
I have the numbers that were sent to me. That's
Yes,
right
so
one.
the amounts in blue.
Yeah.
She told me to put on the sheets, and she said, and I just had a question because the fiscal year starts in July. She said those amounts will start when they start this season.
Okay. So
So-
it doesn't start July 1st or something like that?
No, she said, I guess that's how they did it last year, and it was confusing or something.
Yeah, it just makes it go, because you spend 2 weeks in one fiscal year
Right,
and then
right.
8
So-
in the other, so.
So those amounts will start at the start
Okay.
of the season. And then the guards were all asked to go and be sworn in this week because the select board did appoint all the guards at their meeting on Monday. I just this afternoon got the second paperwork I was still expecting from one of the newer guards, so I now have both paperwork from both of the new guards that will be turned in tomorrow to the treasurer and/or accounting. So in terms of paperwork, we're good.
Everybody's certified, everybody's good, everybody's trained, everybody's,
So I'm having to go back into Denise's files to just double check the certifications. But basically, I'm sending out an email to all the guards tomorrow and asking them just to bring copies of their certifications again to me. Because I feel like it's just been inconsistent. Like I've gotten some through email, some were already in their folder, So just give me brand new copies and we'll put them on the folder and we'll be good.
okay.
And then.
That actually leads to a good point, though, which I'm just going to interrupt for a minute. So some of the guards have been getting recertified, but the prices have gone up for the recertification. So, and this leads into another question. So I know we were getting end of the year bonuses if we stood to a certain time, and some of the guards were asking if we were still getting that end of the year bonus.
Yes,
Okay. And then
What is that amount? Just so I know.
$400, I believe.
Okay. Because that answers my next point, because I was going to say the prices have gone up to like $385, so the 400 would cover that.
Do you know that for sure, or do you need a double?
That's what we gave last year, but it got
Last
so
year was
delayed.
300.
Well, last year was 200?
300.
300.
Last year was
We
300.
budgeted 4, but I'll check on that.
Okay,
Oh,
thanks. Yeah, just let us know so that we can give the guards the right information on Saturday at the training.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
find out
I have a
tomorrow.
question about first aid certificates. That's required for them?
Yes,
Of course.
the lifeguard
That's it.
certification,
That's all.
AED training, first aid training, all that good
Right.
stuff. And then that's going to be part of the review that Glenn Nunes is going to do in the training this Saturday, as well as going over all the basic rules and everything. And I actually am going to give you all a packet of what the guards will be getting. I'll show you that in a minute.
With the lifeguard certification, you get your waterfront certification, you get your AED, you get your CPR, you get your first aid, oxygen, and that's pretty much it. And it gets renewed every 2 years.
Right, sounds great.
Yeah.
They're well-trained. Going back to all that we're doing in terms to get them set. So at the training on Saturday too, we're going to be getting all their sizes for getting jack.
Sweatpants, shirts, like rash guard, shorts.
Yep.
Sweatpants.
So Denise has not ordered that yet. I believe she ordered the hats and she ordered the 2 swim trunks for the 2 new guards.
Okay.
But the other gear, we're, still
waiting
gonna
for sizes,
get that.
okay.
Yep. And then also, I've been in touch with the town clerk to make sure that I know what to do in order to get them parking passes. So the town clerk just said, give me a list of their names along with their license plate number, and then she will get stickers for the cars, and I assume then I'll just mail them out to them. So that's another thing they're bringing at the meeting on Saturday is a note with their name and their license plate number, and so we can get the stickers.
What if this is just an idea, what if we had, you're going to have 6 guards a day, right?
Yes.
I mean, is that,
So-
how many, what if we kept like 6 beach passes in the trailer, that when they get to the beach, you just hand them, when you're loading up the equipment, you just give them, because they make these pink passes, what the town clerk, and shout out to the town clerk for the good, both Carl and Chris, for what they've been doing.
Yeah.
That's what we gave to the Audubon. Because my fear is somebody takes a different car, or somebody's car breaks down or something like that, then it,
That would work.
I guess that would work, but because what we did last year is we handed in all all the plates of cars that people would be
Right.
driving to the beach. And, I mean, that worked out just fine, too.
Because I think if you had them locked in the trailer, and then, if somebody fills in for somebody else, or if somebody had to take somebody else's car, his car broke down, so I took mom's car that doesn't have the plate on the pass. We just have passes, say lifeguard, make it pink and yellow or something, and they can just put it in the windshield and then,
Well, I mean, I think either way, as long
Yeah,
as
either
we
way
have
is
a
fine.
pass.
Yeah.
I can talk to Chris about it.
because I think it would just be easier in the long run. Somebody calls in sick or something happens, it's just easier to, give them the pass when they show up. That way, we know they have a pass in their windshield if their car broke down. They took dad's car or sister's car. Or
I guess the
mother's car.
one fear is though is if they forget to put it back in the trailer,
Yeah,
they drive
that's the
off
only
with
thing,
it,
yeah.
but.
Well, we can always make, but they'll
X some
return at some
extra.
point. But I mean, we can make 8 passes. That way, if
Okay, I'll talk to Chris, so that'll be my follow-up. Okay. And then I'll give you this example of the packet that I've been working on to give the guards. We're also doing a nice PowerPoint as we.
On
go through
Saturday?
it. Yep.
where are you meeting on Saturday?
We're meeting at the meeting room at the annex.
Okay.
Just because I have the building key for that building. So every guard will get a packet like this. Inside will be the contact list and then the lifeguard manual that both Michael and I have kind of revised or just updated.
Okay.
We are still working on the emergency action plan, and we're gonna include that in here as well as any other things we might think of between now and Saturday. But the binder that I'm working on for the head guard is gonna have the emergency accident incident forms. It's gonna have we're gonna have to get you a spiral notebook too.
Yeah.
So he can log any of those things that might be happening. And then this is just so you see the template we've been using for the PowerPoint. And we're still making changes between now and Saturday too on some of that, but for the most part, it's done.
Very good.
Yeah.
We want to make sure to provide a professional, thorough training for them so that they're ready to go day one, that they don't have a ton of questions, that they feel confident in knowing where to go, what to do, how to do it. So just trying to,
And they know the policies.
yep.
Yes.
Very,
It's all in that lifeguard manual, all the policies, beach rules, safety rules.
And then the emergency action plan, which I'm working on, that not only protects, our lifeguards, but protects the beach as a whole, because we never had one implemented before. So the emergency action plan would directly outline what to do and if certain situations arise.
Chris Boyle has helped us with giving us some of his paperwork and trainings and stuff, and we've kind of used that as a tool to create ours. So we're looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah.
One of the things that DNRT and the Land Trust have been instituting, I think you're going to have to watch out for, is the electric bike thing. We have a policy, no motorized vehicle, but people think that excludes electric
Yeah.
bikes. Because one of the problems is they're just basically quiet dirt bikes. Probably even more
Right.
hazardous because you can't hear them
I mean, they
coming
go
up
like
behind.
25 miles an hour. I mean,
Yeah, I mean.
They can
and
move.
I know they're all down the beach all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem with a crowded beach in the summer if somebody's zipping through there at 25 miles an hour, I know the Land Trust has a problem on the trails because people think, because you're allowed to ride mountain bikes on the trail. Oh. This is kind of not really, it's like a environmental dirt bike, basically. I don't know what you call it, but people go too fast and go flying down these trails and
Right.
someone's going to get hurt.
Yes.
So that's,
Well, and that's why it's important to do, I think, at the end of the season, an evaluation of some of those newer things that come up that we can then add to the manual for the next season.
and that's one of them. I mean, I see, they're on the beach now all the time. I see them all the time. I see them on the road all the time.
Yeah.
And they're also not paying attention any more than anybody else, but it's something that they can, like other things, can't be on the beach, so.
I guess,
Okay,
do you have anything else to add? Because just mention this.
that's fine. Before we get into that, I'm sorry, I just want to circle back to like, who's picking up then we don't know yet who's picking up the stand, but, we're assuming the highway department would be the logical choice.
Possibly, yes.
Do you want to follow up with them, or do you want me to email them again? I've already emailed, and I haven't heard anything just yet.
I just don't know. I think we need to know what they need to go to pick it up, so that you don't go up to the pickup truck and you need a flatbed trailer or something.
Okay, so.
I just don't know what kind of vehicle they have to,
All right, let
it up
me talk to my contact there, Steve, and I'll ask the size, the weight, what he suggests we use to pick it up, and then I'll email that again out to.
they have their own
Kristen.
problems with trucks. And I hate to send a dump truck up there to pick up what could pick it up though is the transfer station has a roll-off truck. They could probably,
Okay,
yeah. I just don't know how, I don't think it's gonna fit in the back of a pickup truck.
Right.
That's why
okay, I just want to make sure I knew what the next step was, but I'll contact Steve, get more info.
weight
and-
and size is important.
Yep, okay,
Because you can't send one guy up there to try to put it in the back of the truck if his weight is 400 pounds. My guess is it's probably pretty hefty.
okay, yep. That's all I had.
All right. So basically, I mean, Dana did a great job, covered pretty much everything. The only thing I'm going to say or ask is I've mentioned it numerous times before. I guess there's nothing that can be done this year. But like I've stated in the last meeting, I stated, I think in January, I'll state it again. I requested last year, so we're going on like a year and a half now, if the head lifeguard could be bumped to $30 an hour and the assistant for $25 an hour. The head lifeguard, myself, I'm basically done 2 positions in one for the last couple of years, the beach managerial job and the head lifeguard job, which was posted from when I got hired at $25 an hour for both positions. So I just feel like it'd be, if the $30 an hour would be saving money, A, and B, would be fair.
I would expect that the Board of Selectmen, the next couple of weeks, ask the beach committee to appear in front of them for certain things, that being one of them. We don't control any of that. We, the beach committee, don't control any of that. The selectmen make that decision.
I understand that.
Anything like that.
Can you
The
mention it?
The salary is arranged for the personnel board, so we'd have to go to the personnel
Yeah.
board if the selectmen so choose that would to be the case.
I understand you have no control, but will you mention it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think you're saying that would be looking forward to the fiscal year 27.
Next year, yes.
Yes. Yeah, next year. Well, 2 weeks or whatever, next year. We're hoping, well, see, that's going to put a wrinkle in our budget. Depending on, I don't want to say anything until we know how much money we actually have next
Yeah.
year.
I just wanted to be, like, put it on public record, actually be mentioned.
Because one of the things going back to budget items, I went to town meeting. I don't know if anybody else went to town meeting. It was sparsely attended this year, but I was kind of surprised that we maxed out our revenue with our budget because we hadn't done that. The town administrator added $20,000 for administrative costs to our town. So next year, we won't have the ability to go and say, oh, we got $10,000 in the bank, we can grab that. I'm just hoping that we don't need $20,000 in administrative costs. I think we're trying to supplement, my opinion is we're trying to supplement other departments who do work for us. But
I would like to know what that is.
Well, it'd be like the police department, right, with the tickets down at the beach.
I would think it would cover something like this.
Well, that was the hope, but then when I looked, again, the budget that was voted on at town meeting was $190,000. We had approved a budget of 155, I believe, 55 and change. I can't remember what the exact number was. I was caught a little bit off guard, but I didn't want us to end up in town meeting and start a giant discussion. I just want to know if it's just, let's take all the money and put it in so you can grab it for certain things like this, or if it's something that, it kind of surprised me, caught me off guard.
So 190
Approved, but it caught me off guard.
190,000 was approved?
Yeah. And I'm worried that we're not going to cover that because we didn't make that much this year. I think we're like 170 or something for this year, so I just want to make sure we cover that. My concern is, I'm not sure what that was for. Because I was thinking that if we had to bump up, we would have a little fluff to grab it from. Anyway, what we'll mention, I'm fully expecting, the selectmen usually call me in beginning of the season to make sure, everything's gonna come out without a hitch. So And then they usually call me in at the end of the year to say, did it go, everything go without a hitch? If there's a disaster in between, I'm sure I'll get a call in for that too. So,
Did you all have any questions about anything else regarding the guards or the start of the beach?
no, I think
season?
we're all good. I'm assuming everybody's attending Saturday.
Yes, I'm pretty sure everyone is, yes.
Yeah, there's no like makeup or anything, right? Are you going to the beach at all?
Yeah, I think we are. We're gonna go.
So the process is, we're gonna start in the meeting room, we're gonna have the PowerPoint up, we're gonna get their license plates, the copies of their, certificates, just do all that before the meeting.
Yep.
Then we're gonna have, introductions, basically have Glenn Nunes go over.
He's gonna go first, present what he has to do on first aid and so forth, and different review material, and then I'll be presenting the rest of the way. And then we're probably gonna be stopping at the fire station to show him how to clock in and kind of just show him the route of what our daily activities entail. And then we'll go to the beach and do some drills and training, so.
I'm-
When hopefully the weather, cooperates with us.
Yeah.
I've been watching the weather,
What I saw, it just must be cloudy.
Yeah.
so that's a good thing, all right.
I'm planning to just be there for support for Michael and the guards and see if they have any questions administrative wise. But I also want to observe his training process with them so that I'm aware. And then,
Have you-
I'll be
have
going to the
you-
beach as well.
Mentioned any of this to the fire or police for possible brief cameo appearance or anything like that?
Yeah, Glenn
Glenn-
Nunes is coming.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to compliment you on the work you've done for this.
Thank
I had the experience of managing 11 lifeguards for 9 summers, and this is very good.
Thank you.
Oh, no, again, Dana has been a tremendous help starting last year when it was like, we were spiraling into the toilet. And we came out of that, so, yeah, I think we're heading in the right direction. Our only hindrance is money.
It's been a lot
That's
of
everybody's
work.
hindrance, yeah.
Thank you. Michael, I just want to say Michael's helped too. We've been utilizing Google Sheets and Google Slides so that we can both make adjustments, which has been very helpful.
Nice job.
I think, yep.
Is there any other questions you have for us?
I don't know if we do. I think we're gonna meet early next month before the opening.
Okay.
Just in case we have to do a vote, like,
What day would that be and what time?
that would probably be like the 14th is, and then,
It's a Saturday.
so it's like the 12th, I guess, whatever the Thursday is before that.
Yeah, the 12th.
I'm thinking it's a good idea. We usually do that anyway, because just in case.
I agree, that's a good
something,
idea. Absolutely.
You know,
And what, would it be like 4:30 or 7 or?
I made 4:30 because I thought it was
Yeah.
easiest for everybody. I don't know, is it easy for you,
I
Joel?
like the 4:30.
I like
It's
the-
tough for me because I have to get through
Yeah,
traffic.
it's-
but
yeah.
Woody, you're okay with 4:30?
That's all right.
4:30 is good for you?
4:30's good.
I know you like 4:30.
That's true.
I'm the only one that's working past that, so. So, but I mean, I'd rather have, as long as we have a quorum and everything, but this just in case. And if something comes up in between and we have to hold an emergency meeting, please
Okay.
let us know, because I don't want to wait till 2 days before to find out there's an emergency, because then it's kind of too late to do anything about it.
So you mentioned the parking lot might not be ready for opening day?
It's ready. I mean, it's ready to
Okay.
go. There are a couple of problems. One is he's redone all the gates, he's redone all the parking area. He's made it bigger. We picked up 15 extra spots this year. He put down crushed asphalt, so we have a very good surface. We don't have any ruts and potholes and things like that. We need to get the signs up. The gates, he did a good job on the gates, putting new posts in. They're basically telephone poles and everything.
Oh.
The problem is we don't have anything to keep them open. We used to have the grass berms, now they're all gone. So now the problem is, I've been like literally, we're trying to figure out the best way to do this. I want
Okay.
to put a post and have something we can hitch it to, because they close every time the wind blows, they close.
Is
Right.
there another post you can put up and have like a little chain to put the post?
Well, we have chains on the gates already, but what
That's
we
what I'm
need to do
saying.
is just hook it onto a post or
Post,
something like
right.
that. So hopefully that's a big concern, because I know I've been getting complaints last couple of weekends, because I was literally propping them up with sticks.
Right.
Holding them open, and then the wind blows and they close, and everybody's complaining about they're not being technically open.
Can't
But
have
we're
it
gonna
in a
fix
car or
that
anything.
problem. We're gonna fix- And we've got to make a dedicated entrance, because it's too wide open now in the corner there.
Yeah.
And my fear is, if you have young children and they come whipping around the corner and people
Sure.
are backing up and doing all kinds of things, I'd rather have something that says, come and enter here and go out here. But other than that, I mean, Chris did a great job, and he's been trying to get back there, but
Okay.
again, 5 guys.
And then what date does the porta potties get put out?
They'll be coming in the Saturday before,
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
and
And,
we'll be spraying before that too.
Okay.
yeah.
And then I think the highway department in the past has helped clear the pathway with sand. If
It's
there's
pretty
no-
good right now. They cleared it already once.
Okay.
Because they have to do it before April 1st because of the bird situation. So we always have them go down before April 1st, and I went down this morning to take a look, and it was still pretty good.
Okay, great.
It hasn't blown in yet. It doesn't mean they won't do it tomorrow, but
I actually have one more question. Just because I'd like to be there when they do this, when the lifeguard stands get brought down to the beach, because
Yeah.
we have like certain areas where they're best suited. I don't know, can we plan a day for that or?
well, I'm assuming that when we pick up the new stand, we're
Alright.
going to do that day.
Okay, well, I would like, just inform me, let me know so that way I can
I don't know
show
when
them
that
where to
will
put
be,
it.
but I'm assuming that's the best time. If they're going to drop it off down there, they might as well have something there to get them,
Yeah,
put them on the beach.
like I said, just let me, like I said, I'd really like to know so I can tell them what places to put them because that way we can have the best zone coverages available.
Remember this private property that,
Absolutely, yeah, I remember.
but I mean, going down towards the point is private properties.
Yeah, no, we don't, I mean, we're not gonna put them a mile down. It would just be probably, I think, if it's like around 300 feet,
Yeah.
so.
We picked up an extra 100, so.
Yeah.
And we got more than that.
there you go.
No, yeah, I can call Chris tomorrow, or you can, I mean, maybe you should, because you guys have to contact the Diamond and talk.
I'll contact Steve and then I can email you guys with the info
Okay.
of the weight and size and what he suggests, what kind of vehicle or how to pick it up.
Yeah, because they're, it'd be tough to move them on the sand.
Well, they have a front-end loader to do that. But, so Chris can coordinate that. At the same time, he can finish what he's got to do at the, we try to coordinate everything. Because I told him, we need to really get it ready by June. He said, I don't know if he's going to get it ready next week. Like last week, it rained every day, he couldn't do a darn thing.
Right.
So it's hard to, but Chris did, everybody's been very cooperative, it's been very good, and I can't complain about it. I'm not going to complain,
Okay.
It's an extra job for them, so. Okay, we'll coordinate that, and hopefully it'll go well.
Perfect, thank you.
That's all?
Yep, so we'll be meeting the 12th
Okay.
at 4:30,
12,
Okay.
4:30.
I will be in Utah.
or you'll be in Utah? Oh, good for you.
Sweet.
Well, we'll plan on that. If it changes, just let us know.
Yeah, well, if you have to meet, if you find out tomorrow that nothing's coming in and everything's a disaster, we need to meet before that, so we can make plans to,
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's gonna pop up.
stranger things have happened.
I have some supplies piling up in my office, so,
Well, we were cruising along last April, and then all of a sudden, boom, all the lifeguards were disappearing, and that was, so I just want to make sure that on that Saturday,
yeah.
no hitch.
Oh, and Michael has already planned out the first 4 weeks of the beach
For
season.
scheduling, yes, I
So
have.
he's gonna do that like month to month.
Yep.
So,
Just like I've been, yeah.
and we're gonna go over that a bit at the training on Saturday too, correct?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the big weekend is July 4th.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
You
Friday.
have a kids' day, like where they have, say, sack races or find little white rocks
Well, what were we
on the
talking?
shore?
Are you talking about like almost like a junior lifeguard camp?
No, I'm talking about for kids about 5, 6 years old. A couple activities, no?
No, that's,
Something to think about for
Yeah.
next year. Too much pressure on, but just a fun day, like,
There was talk about sand sculpture tournaments or competitions or something like that.
there is unbelievable.
The physical stuff is a little more complicated for insurance purposes.
Yeah, the other thing I found, my my son wants to give his kids swimming lessons. There aren't a lot of places to do that.
no. We could have someone, I mean, I know there used to be swimming lessons at Baby Beach way back.
I know.
Yeah,
Lessons on the river.
there used to be. I mean, that would be a good thing to bring back. I can't see why not.
They had, the town had instruction, my kids
Why
went to
not?
that years ago.
Yeah, it's finding an
The
instructor,
lifeguards
They
that-
found what?
Yeah,
finding an
Trained
instructor
to
and
do
paying
that?
them.
yeah.
We gotta find an instructor, then paying the instructor to do that.
Oh, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't have any
Well, I mean,
problem. You're
it's-
beginning with a full boat of lifeguards. I always had
But
I would
some
trouble
want
of them
someone
wanted-
who's
getting
done it
that last
before.
lifeguard.
Okay.
If if you're dealing with little kids.
Well, what we could do, if you really want an official certification, we could have one of the guards, like, remember the junior lifeguard?
It's something we can work on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
As long as it doesn't cost money, no.
they don't do it at the harbor at all.
no,
Yeah,
Most families I know do either private lessons or the Y.
you know, the Y or,
It's hard to get, yeah, they're booked. Some of them,
I got my daughter in okay
Yeah.
once, yeah.
okay. All right,
okay.
good.
That's it? We're
That's
good?
it.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Lifeguard report. Okay, we have a small problem on East Beach. Maybe you can help us out with that. The first trailer, I don't know who it is, they just bought it, they just built a nice little shed. It's more like a house, but in a shed. They filled onto the town property, which was clearly marked by about 20 feet.
Is that down the end with they lost
There's
the
a big
lot?
there's a big RV sitting there right now on the town property. It was suggested, because everybody knows about it, it suggested the beach committee write a nice letter to the owner saying, please remove the material. And, you know, this distinguishes all claim to this property. It was a concrete marker that clearly marked his corner, and he's 15 feet past it. And he's got an RV parked on the town property. And I know, because those lots are all skinny and you always,
I think I'd go straight to the town attorney,
well, no,
because that's,
because the issue is, and here's the problem. If we don't say anything, we just send a letter saying, we should send a letter saying, this, just to let you know, you're on the town property, we know this, and this is distinguishing all your rights, claims you may have, that you think you may have on that property, and then let the town attorney go from there.
yeah.
But it's basically, it should be removed, because A, it was done without a permit from conservation, and B, he doesn't have a trailer permit yet.
Yeah, well, but I think that's beyond,
I think that's pretty good.
that's already beyond us.
Yeah,
Really?
He got a permit to put a shed there, but the shed that's been built there is more significant than a shed. It's got a deck on top and all these other things. So no one is real happy about this.
Is it movable?
No. It's anchored to the
I
ground.
think
It's
that's
supposed to be
gen-
raised.
I think that's,
we own this. It's supposed to be raised, it's not raised. It's anchored, it's got a utility, it's got windows, it's beautiful. It's, you know, siding.
electricity?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's gonna live in it. There's no doubt in my mind that they're not gonna spend time in the trailer, they're gonna be spending time in this place. But having said that, our concern is the parking area is that he filled in to be used as his private property. That's the problem. So I can have town attorney do it, but I think Jim was saying just write a letter, if you don't move it, have the highway department go down and take it out.
Nah, it's just gonna be a waste of time.
No, that
We're
should
just
be
gonna
a-
get blown off by going into that
That
situation.
should be a serious letter.
That's what I think, yeah. I mean, I just think that it's gonna turn into, and Kevin will get involved, and then the next thing you know, we'll have
Be a
attorney.
fiasco.
The town will be spending $50,000 to have somebody ask to move 15 feet of gravel and fill that he put on the town property.
Yeah,
Either, do you have to have him to remove it, or do you just say, hey, this is, you can't claim this property, but you shouldn't be using it?
Can he move it back onto what would be his property?
He can if he wants, I don't care what he does with it.
But, I mean, there's
Yeah.
enough room for him to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it happen. I was watching the trucks dump, and he's doing it on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm watching, I know where the marker is. It was clearly there. It was maintained by the previous owner, because they didn't want to go over the town property. And then it just got buried and it just kept migrating, because when you have a 40-foot wide lot and now you wanna make it 60 feet wide, it makes it a lot easier for your parking. Because he built a giant shed that takes up half his property, so.
It's amazing what they get on those 50-foot lots, though, you know? I
Well,
mean,
you should see, well, if you go down there, you'll notice that it's like, gee, I don't remember it being that wide, because you see where the pole was right on the corner, and
I'll take a spin down all the way. I just go to basically. the
so
end.
it was recommended we send a letter, just at least notifying him, give him the opportunity to do that, and if he doesn't do it, the highway department will, which will cause a problem, but,
Yeah, I like, because of some of the things you just said,
yeah.
I can see them becoming issues with more involvement from other people, that it might be
Oh,
suggestions.
no, I agree, I don't disagree with you at all, but the time is to do it early, because they haven't even
Absolutely.
voted for his trailer permit yet, and he's got an RV the size, you know, a big RV. down there, sitting on the town property right now.
As they're the
So I
ones that
think-
issue the permit,
I think-
why are they not the ones that's gonna handle it? Why should it be?
Well, they don't even know about it. So the idea was to send a letter and CC all the boards and say, hey, we have a problem with Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so. They've kind of, you know, pushed the envelope on there a little bit.
How about a verbal warning by the police before we begin action?
It's a civil action, they're not gonna take,
Pardon?
they're not gonna be involved. It's not a criminal action.
It's civil.
Right, okay.
I think it's just a letter saying, hey, we're making you aware. This is a
You're on
no-no.
notice.
Yeah, because the fear is, 15 feet this year, another 10 next year, and then the next thing you know, he's over on Horse Neck Road,
Three-story house.
Yeah, oh, significantly more than what should be there. I'm not gonna say anything about that, I don't care, but, he's taking up basically town property and access.
It's a building inspector issue.
Well, Ralph doesn't know.
Well-
Nobody knew about it until I said, hey, you been watching this guy? Because he didn't file, usually everybody has to file conservation and they get their permits, and so Chris takes the drive-by and you make sure that.
That's a process unto itself for these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, and now,
Because-
this was just like, why do easy to ask forgiveness and ask permission, idea, but it's on town property and I don't want it to become an issue 5 years down the road. Well, no one said anything,
Right, I agree with you.
it's either, you hit it early and often and then.
They all have to abide by those rules. And
Right.
you get one stepping off, then everybody's stepping.
Well, the thing is, what happens if someone gets injured on this property? What happens if, somebody falls,
Yeah.
what happens when, what happens if there's a spill, all of a sudden his RV leaks
Well,
gasoline all over the place and it's on
happened
the
at
town.
At the land trust property when it was leaking from the town dump
Yeah,
onto the land trust property. Who's responsible? Guess who?
yeah. So it's like, and I do work the land trust all the time. We always catch people encroaching on land trust property
But
all the
but
time.
they have to do something.
Yeah. You have to do something early, because if you let it go and everybody, about it, but you don't do
Nip it in
anything,
the
something
bud.
happens, town's on the hook, so. I don't know the gentleman, he's brand new. I knew the previous owner, it's right next to Dick Bonaventura's lot, it's a house now, on the let side coming from Horse Neck. Can't miss it. If you go by there,
Yeah, well,
you can't miss it. You can see how much
I
wider.
usually go straight down 88.
Yeah,
and,
most people do.
There's Bill's house that he's selling.
Yeah.
If you look to the left, when you're in John Reed Road, you'll see a house, and I only go as far as the trailer before.
If you take a drive by there, you'll see.
Oh, I will,
You'll
I
see.
will, I'll be definitely gonna do that.
But anyway, nobody's too happy about it, and I just want to not have to deal with it from a beach committee standpoint, considering we're kind of responsible for activities on the town
I
beach.
still don't think it's fair for those people not to be able to bring in larger size, boulders or huge rocks. I don't think that's
You
fair.
can permit anything if you can get a permit to do it. The
I know.
problem is, you can't get a permit to do it.
It's gotta be
I think-
compatible to nature.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons, but that's not our problem. So, I think that ends what I have for agenda here, except the unanticipated issues, which I don't know if we had any unanticipated issues. I haven't seen,
All
oh,
set.
shoot, I meant to ask Dana if she's monitoring the email. I don't know if Perry's still monitoring the email or Dana's doing it. The email account, we have an email account that people can email the beach committee.
Oh, yeah, good.
And the problem is, for years, we didn't have the person who had the password to get into it and everything. She's no longer with us, Lucy. And we couldn't get to it. So now Perry got into it and he was monitoring it, but he was turning it over to Dana so Dana could answer people as they.
Right.
And I forgot to ask her if it has to be any, because we haven't gotten a letter of nastiness in a while. 'Cause I went down
Nasty
to the
grams.
Well, we used to regularly get complaints about dogs and birds and people and parking and trash and, too much sand on the beach, there's not enough sand on the beach, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we did get a nasty gram from someone about the fence. We put a brand-new fence up, and there's a section that they didn't do that they should have done, with the coming back to do.
Yeah.
And they complained because it was dangerous and everything like that. We never heard from this person before. And now all of a sudden, they're chiming in about, well, you got a great fence, but you have a section here, that's all. When the whole fence was like that. So it's like.
You can't keep
You can't
all the
win.
people-
You can't win.
people
You
happy
can't win.
all of the
It's-
time.
It's like, if you're not complaining, you're not living in Westport. So, I have nothing. Any members have anything? I haven't been down to the Noble.
Looks good. They've been working, they've worked it, you know,
Okay.
plowed it out.
I haven't been down in a couple of weeks.
Got 2 handicap signs at the end, as usual. No trash yet.
Well, fishing season started, so give it time.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's good.
Is there something we should do, do you think? Fourth of July is a problem down there, and hot weekends are a problem, because they're camping on the Noble.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's federal property.
Yeah, I know, but it's,
Everything else is land trust property, so.
but, yeah,
do.
but
Noble's
it's town
federal
access.
property?
Yeah, it belongs to the Department of Homeland Security, because of the beacon.
Yeah, we'll get,
Cool.
get the ice people down there.
Yeah, 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 get them,
Well, no comment.
Guess,
yeah, that'll,
those
but
20 fishermen out there on
the problem is the access is over town property and land trust property, so.
somehow they managed to get in without parking. I don't know how they do it. It's magic.
I am, yeah, well, I see them get dropped off.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't know where they're parking the van that drops them all off.
But they must, the wife drives it home. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
have no
have-
idea, because
I don't know if they, I'm wondering because I see vehicles at the town landing in Adamsville. If they drop most of them there and then some of them go to the town landing to go crabbing there or something,
the mystery.
it accesses over the town land, so the question is, how do we had some concerns from people last year, some
Yeah.
emails about, and I don't know what we can do about it, because East Beach is the same way. When you have a
Well,
beach, and you have a lot of people.
It's
you
a
have
road,
problem.
it's a public road.
Yeah.
What do you do?
East Beach Road is, especially at Fourth of July weekend, is a disaster. Because it's just people being people.
Yeah, I wanna get moving, so.
Okay, all right, good enough, all right.
Okay, but if
Uh,
I go and,
entertain a motion?
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second that
Second.
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.